Thank you all for being here, and just want to remind you, if you can't see the screen up there, I'm going to ask you all to silence your cell phones, and here is the offering plate. If your phone rings, I'm coming to get you. So, good morning again. I'm Anna Sweeden. I'm the Director of Development here at the ARC, and I have been here almost 8 years. My 8th anniversary is coming up on Halloween. And I just want to say thank you to all of those of you who give so generously and who think about giving so generously and are thinking about giving so generously. There is a lot to give to philanthropically here at the ARC. And I have been raising money in the greater San Antonio area since I was 24 years old. And I am not 24 years old anymore. So it's been a long time, and I have a lot of experience, and I would love to put that to work for all of you. Here is the team. So I am essentially the fundraiser of one, with Emily Morehouse Esquivel, who assists me, and Steve Fuller, who is always by my side and willing to do whatever I ask him to do. And I loved this African proverb: if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together, and we go together. And so I just want y'all to know that we are a unit of 3, and we do things together. And if you can't find me, this girl right here, Emily, she is my left hand, and she can take care of anything, and I trust her without fail. So here's Miss Emily. Look at the bee. Her 4th anniversary here at the ARC was this past week. And so hooray for 4 years, and a title change that we gave her a few months ago that elevates her a little bit more, and she is just a stellar employee and friend to all of us, and she can be a great help to you. Oh, did I go the wrong way? I guess I did. Here, I just want to acknowledge General Becker. If you guys didn't know General Becker, I just want to plug him again. What a splendid man, and when I first came here 8 years ago, he was my rock, and he introduced me to people. He made sure I knew people. He made sure people knew me and what I was about. And I just want to acknowledge him every chance I get. You see his name on the bistro, and that's because he was so loved here. And here, also want to thank Carol Hubner, who's here at the front row, standing next to me once again. She chairs our development committee of the board, and she is extraordinary in all ways. And also Rick Wright, I thought I saw Rick Wright here. He is a member of our development committee as well. And I want to remind you all that the board governs development here. It is not something I do on my own without a decision-making committee that helps me to do the right thing for all of you. So just want you to be aware of that. So here's me as a little girl. I think I was probably 2.5 maybe there, and that's my older brother, who's now 65. So that's my brother David, Mrs. Howie, and this is my crew. This is my whole family, and we had an explosion of little people this past year, and so you can see we have lots of babies, and there's the bun in the oven in that picture that you can't see, but she is now 4 months old. So this is the fam. I have a brother and 2 sisters, and all their littles and littlers. Oops, wrong way again, darn. And this is my son. I have one child. He is 32 years old, and his name is Garrett. And he is a software programmer for a government agency. And he also does, the Lakeview picture is because he does resume checking for people at Lakeview. When kids are applying for college and they're writing their letters and stuff, he does that for them as a volunteer. So he's very proud of that, and I'm very proud of him for volunteering in addition to his regular work. And then this is Edward. Those of you who say, who's that guy? This is my honey, my beau, and my travel companion. And he and I are getting ready to go on a trip. We're going to New York, Pennsylvania, and Niagara Falls in Canada in a couple of weeks, and my big highlight of this trip is that I'm going to meet a half-sister that I've never met before. She's 18 months younger than I am. So that'll be a fun trip. I hope it goes well. I have to temper my expectations because who knows what that's going to turn out to be like, but it will be interesting nonetheless. And we share mutual grandparents, and that's how I know she exists and how I know that I know how to get in touch with her. So I don't have any pets. This is a deer that's looking in my kitchen window one day. And these are some little foxes that decided to set up shop in my smoker. And these, for all of you who don't know, Joanne Cowie, can you see this picture? So these are my parents, and for those of you who live in Garden Ridge, you might have known my mom and dad. That's Tom and Eva Potter, and my dad just passed away in January. And so I just miss them, and I just wanted to acknowledge them for helping make me who I am, and of course living in Garden Ridge, where many of our residents come from. So let's talk about what's happening here. We know the mission of the ARC, and I really don't need to read it all to you, but I just want to tell you, so we'll start out doing some of the 101 development philanthropy sorts of things, and then at the end of the 101, we'll do questions and answers. Actually, Emily has a little part in there too to talk about the portal. Then we'll do questions and answers, and then we have 2 videos to show today. They're both about 5 or 6 minutes long, and they tell stories about donors. So every donor has a story, and I just want to feature some people who love the ARC and make a difference for us. And this one you saw last year, so the second one is one we showed last year. If you need to leave early, that's a good excuse to get out, but it's a great story, and if you want to see it a second time, it's worth the watch. So we're featuring Linda Sorber, and we are featuring Martha Thorpe. And I don't see Martha here, but she was here last year. So just here we go. The ARC is a 501c3 organization, and that's why we can accept charitable donations. And so we can raise money to benefit the ARC, its residents, and its employees. And of course, as I said earlier, it's governed by a committee of the board of directors. We accept gifts in the following ways: cash, check, charge to your ARC account. We do that a lot, actually. Required minimum distributions, stocks. We have a stock gift form in your little packet. If you didn't get a packet, you can still grab one. In-kind donations. We received in-kind donations fairly regularly. I heard somebody the other day who wanted to give the bird seed that's on the wish list, and they wanted to go buy it at the BX or the PX and bring it here, and that's something we can do. And then, of course, deferred gifts through estate planning. If you're thinking about changing your estate for any reason, we would love to be included in that, and I can give you language and talk to you about how that might work. I want to talk to you quickly about the Smith Fund. You hear about it all the time. The Smith Fund was originated by Colonel James Smith. He died in 2008, and here his legacy lives on. He wanted to make sure that the employees have a bonus, and he started the spring time bonus actually, and it has just grown over time. So we last year distributed $556,000 to 350 some employees, I think is the right number. And I will tell you that if you make $13 or $14 an hour in today's economy, a $1,500 bonus makes your Christmas. So I'm asking you all to, if you haven't already, to please consider that. And especially if you're a new resident, thank you so much for being here if you're new, so that you can learn and get involved and see how you want to participate. Smith Fund deadline, so that finance can do their things and cut checks and all that. The deadline for you all as donors is Wednesday, November the 26th. That's the day before Thanksgiving. Last year it was a little bit later, and I think I drove the finance people crazy. So moving up that date a little bit. So please, 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 if you haven't already, please think about giving to that. It's a very meaningful gift, and it is tax deductible. So here are some of our Smith Fund distribution people from last year. See all the hugs and the smiles and the happinesses. This is a beautiful day, and I think it's December the 5th this year that we're giving out checks. And if you want to be our participant in giving out checks and just hugging employees and saying thank you, come and see me, come see Carol Hubner, you can see Rick Wright. We'll just make sure that you guys get a spot and a schedule. It is a scheduled thing because we have to work around people's schedules that are working. So we want people to participate. It's a very warm, fuzzy thing. My phone is ringing. Can you hear it? No. Okay. It's up here for a timer. And it's Edward. How funny. So we also have a resident assistance fund. This is the endowment fund that gets invested, and it has more than $2 million balance in it. And we have 3 residents who currently benefit from the fund. We want to encourage people to support this fund and help it grow and help it to stay healthy. We never know who's going to need it in the future or even in the near future. We're just not sure, but we love having this and providing it as a benefit to our residents who need extra assistance when the time comes. We also have a wish list. It's posted on the portal, and I think it's in your packet. Is that right, Emily? It is put. I know nothing without her, I'm telling you. The wish list is in your packet and posted on the portal and in the mail rooms, and it always gets updated. So if you're ever interested in supporting something that's a little bit modestly priced, one of the things we just added this week, which is not so modestly priced, but maybe a little bit, you saw out here right outside of the flagpole area, there's a walkway, there's the sidewalk, and there is a park bench there. We're putting covers on those benches so when people walk, they have a place to stop and sit in the shade instead of in the sun. And those are $2,500 a piece. I couldn't believe it. So I've already had one donor step up and fund 4, and I think we have 11 more. It's close. Anyway, it's on the wish list, and you can trust that list. James DeBorsch is happy I say this. We did receive from the wish list $120,000 last year that funded items that needed to be funded. We also have an employee relief fund. This is a fund that is for our employees who experience crisis, and we do have employees that hardship happens all the time. It's cancer in this case, or their house burns down, or something terrible happens in their family, and so this fund exists to give employees a leg up when something bad happens, really bad happens. This fund usually gives within 24 to 48 hours a $600 check, and we just increased that amount from $600 to $800 because everything is more expensive now. $600 just doesn't stretch as far as it used to. So that's after someone who's worked here for a year, and they can get it twice. We also have resident-sponsored projects. The Golden Diggers, if you guys don't know about the Golden Diggers, of course, they beautify healthcare grounds in the areas around them. It was started by a group of volunteers and still is a volunteer group to this day, but I love the story of how it started. There was a person in healthcare who loved gardens, and she was in her final days, and she looked outside and she said, I do not enjoy my last days looking out at dead and dying bushes. And so we recruited a group of volunteers. This is before me, 10 years ago. And this group of volunteers really took it on and has made it beautiful. And they maintain it beautifully, and all that costs money. So we always ask for support for the Golden Diggers. They're okay right now, but it doesn't take much. We also have the library. Our library accepts donations of cash and also some donations of good books. I will tell you that they have a limited amount of space, and so I wouldn't count on them taking everything that you have in your house. But it's still a great thing to support. And of course, we have a feral cat management program. It is designed to manage the cat population here, and we try to rehome. We spay and neuter. We do have some funding for this now, and so I think they're okay for now, but again, you know what cats do. I just wanted to share with you some things that philanthropy has funded. Dollars from residents, dollars from resident council. I do work with the one-time buy committee on the council, and that has been a lucrative way to get some things funded around here. But you can see that lots of things for the fitness center, lots of things for healthcare. We do have a CNA class now that we sponsor here, and we try to keep our CNAs on board once they're trained. And so they have to have books and things like that. And believe it or not, $150 book is something that can be a hindrance to them. So we buy their books for them, and that's a nice thing that some of our residents underwrite. We have gardening tools for golden diggers, little things. Benches outside of Lakeside Landing. There's more than this. This is a small sampling, but I just want you to see what all gets funded by the generosity of you all. We do have honor stones. If you haven't seen the honor stone garden, come see me and I will take you out. They are beautiful. It is a beautiful area. It's right outside of healthcare. We do healthcare gardens. We do women's veteran stones. If you are a female veteran and you have not gotten a stone in the garden yet and you're interested, please come by and see me. This is a project that was started by Colonel Martha Cronin, who lives over at Lakeside, and it was something that she wanted to do, and she gave us $6,000 in seed money to get it started, and it is still growing, and it's a beautiful testament to the women servants of our country. And then just a Veterans Honor Garden, which is people who we know that we want to remember in some way. So here's some stones you can see. I don't know if you can see it very well, but some beautiful stories here. And here's a picture of the garden area. All those are against the healthcare rooms, and they all see these, and hopefully they have help and can go outside and take a look at the gardens when they have a beautiful day. And a reminder that you can get basil and rosemary, I believe, out of the gardens. There's a pair of scissors right at the bottom of that screen.
Only basil now.
And Blunt says, only basil now.
No, that version, only rosemary. Only rosemary, sorry.
Oh, only rosemary now. Okay, the clarification here. This is Patty Horoho and we were out looking at the women's veteran stones one day when she was here visiting a couple of years ago, and she was duly impressed by what we had done. We also accept donations in honor or in memory of. I'm looking at one person right now who regularly goes on trips and then makes gifts in honor of her friend who watches her cat for her. And I don't know how many of you all need more stuff in your house. I can tell you I don't. And so this is a great way to give to what you care about and honor someone who has done something kind for you or who has passed away and you just want to do something in their memory. We also do estate planning. If you're interested, again, I'd love to be talking to you about this. And we also have some lawyers, etc., not on retainer, but people that we use regularly and who are very, very trusted. And I would love to connect you with them if you're not interested in talking to me directly. I know it's a very personal thing and it is none of my goat smelling business. So here's just a reminder that we finished this capital campaign, and again, I want to thank everyone who participated and gave to the capital campaign. We had 70% participation from residents to the capital campaign we just finished. We raised more than $4 million, and I just cannot believe that we got to that point. It is, every day I'm stunned and just reminded about who was generous and who was thoughtful and who cared enough to give. And 70% is a big number. We had never done anything like it before, and I was convinced that was going to be a rough sell, and it was not. And you guys have been so kind and generous. Thank you. So this is basically a graphic to just show you how what philanthropy means. This is $4.4 million that we didn't have to pay interest on. It's $4.4 million that we didn't have to finance. And so I just want you to see the impact of philanthropy when you look at it in these terms. We're going to be doing a phase 2 campaign. It is coming slowly, a little bit slowly, I would say. We're taking an extended planning and cultivation period just because we feel like we need to. It is not easier to raise money right now than it was 4 years ago, 3 years ago. It is challenging. It's a challenging environment. And given all the things that have been happening, including budget cuts, federal budget cuts, all those things, they all impact philanthropy and how dollars can or will be used. We do have $1.5 million in hand, and that includes 2 estate gifts. So these are both people who are still living and thriving, and they have decided to put the ARC in their will, and we'll get this money after their passing. And I hope that both of them are still here for a very, very long time. We did go, Emily and I, after our collection to the Kerrville floods. We hand delivered 70 checks totaling $23,000 from our generous residents. And that was just in response to you all asking that something needed to be done and feeling like there was a compelling case there to support something that was very necessary. So we took $23,000, and that was over the course of 10 days. That was a fast response to all of you. So again, thank you. There were 2 directors and 68 residents doing that. Also, thank you to the Kiwanis Club, who did a collection for our ESD Emergency Services District 10 first responders. As you probably all know, they are here regularly, sometimes 3 or 4 times a day. And so we want to make sure that they are supported. And so this is something we do every other year. And I feel like this is something that's really, really important. They invest in us and we should reinvest in them. So $21,455 went to ESD 10. That was just very recent. Here's some partnerships. We have lots of things going on. I could read the slide to you, but it's very full of information. It should be in your handout though, so take a look at those. And if you have ideas about other ways that we can partner with organizations to spread the word about the ARC and just make us better known and do good things for the community, I would love to know about that. Or you can tell Mr. Fuller or anybody who has interest in sharing this information. So some good to know things. We honor donor intent always. If you write a check and you put it in the drop box and I don't get to talk to you or Emily doesn't get to talk to you about what it's used for, we will call you, we will call you, we will talk to you, we will hunt you down. I just did it with Colonel Parker this morning. I want to make sure that I understand how this money is going to be used, so you don't ever have to worry about going someplace that it's not intended to go. I ask that you please make your donations through to the development office. You can leave it at the front desk or give it to Emily or give it to me instead of putting it in the finance drop box, because sometimes finance gets the checks, they deposit the checks, and they forget to tell us that they got it. Therefore, you get no acknowledgement for your gift, and I can't thank you. So please, 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 that's a big thing. And then for those of you who are new, we do year-end statements in January. It encompasses your whole giving for the year if you've given it all. And that is a big project that Emily works on in her spare time. She doesn't have much. And we just want you to know that's going to continue because I feel like it's a good effort and it helps you all to do your taxes in a better way. And then I'm going to invite Miss Emily up to do technology because I don't like it.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone. Unfortunately, our recording stopped during Anna's director's dialogue, so I am redoing my portion of the presentation. My name is Emily Morehouse Esquivel. I am the Executive Operations and Development Manager, and I am going to show you a little bit about the resident portal and where you can find stuff for the development office. So this is the resident portal right here, and this is the main page. And so what you can do to find the development department's information is go to the resources tab, and over here to the left there's ARC departments, and when you click on that it will take you to all of the different departments that you can click on to see whatever you like for each one. And it's in alphabetical order, so development is number 2. And so you'll see right here that it shows where we're located, and then it will also show a little bit of what we do. And the first tab that you can see is ways to give, and these include just making an outright gift in whatever way you like, and gifts can be made by cash, check, credit card, or charged to your house account. If you'd like to charge to your house account, you can come see us. And if you want to give by cash or check, you can drop that off to either the front desk or to me or Anna in the development office. If you want to give by credit card, that can only be done on our website. We don't store credit card information here in our office, and I will come back to how you can give with a credit card online in just a little bit. And so, of course, you can also donate gifts of stock, you can do in-kind donations, you can do RMDs through your IRA, RMDs being required minimum distributions. And of course, you can designate how the funds will be used. If we're not sure about it, we will contact you by either email or phone just to make sure. If we're unsure about it in any way, we will definitely check with you. You can also include us being the ARC in your estate plans, and you can make gifts in memory or in honor of a loved one or a special friend. And then the next tab is helpful documents. And so if you attended the Director's Dialogue, you received most of these. And so there's a general gift or pledge form, an honor stone form, Smith Fund, both the Smith Fund policy and the authorization form. So that includes letters from Mr. Rosso as the resident council chair, and also from Gordon Shoger, our CFO. And then we have the RMD instructions for capital projects. So that would have been like our capital campaign that we did a few years ago for the phase 1 high-rise renovations. And then we also have instructions for the Smith Fund and the Women's Veteran Honor Stone form. And all of that stuff can also be given to you from our office if you want to come by and see us. And then down here, we have our contact information, both mine and Anna's. And then right here, you can click to see development updates for the latest from our office. You can also see that from the news and updates tab. And so you have the development updates. We have the wish list right here. You can click on that and it will show you the latest wish list that we have posted. And if you have questions about the wish list, you can contact me. You can, of course, contact Anna, but you can contact me as well. And then we have each of the year in review updates. So we did the first one for 2023, calendar year 2023, and then the second one for calendar year 2024. And then most recently, we did a mid-year update this year. And so you can find all of those here on the portal. And then we also have a video that was made from the Valero luncheon to thank Valero for their generous gift to the capital campaign several years ago. And the late Kevin Scott, Major Kevin Scott, hosted that luncheon, did a wonderful job, and we had photos taken during that luncheon, and a nice video was made out of that, so you can see that if you'd like. And so that is everything on the portal. And now we are going to go to the public website. And so you can see over here we have the giving page. You can click on that. And if you scroll down a little bit, it will show a brief description of how you can give to the ARC. And we'll get to these two in just a second. But if you scroll down a little bit more, it shows different ways that you can give. That's with the charitable endowment, which is also known as the Resident Assistance Fund. And then there's the resident sponsored program. So that includes a few things like the Feral Cat Management Program, the library, and more. And then we also have, of course, the wish list like we talked about already in the Smith Fund, and then capital projects. And so we'll scroll back up to the top. And we also have the wish list posted here on the public side of the portal. I'm sorry, the public side of the website. That way anybody can give. Of course, residents, but also maybe their families or friends can give to the wish list if they'd like. And then we also have this spot, this link right here that we have titled Make a Donation. And so if you click that, and again, you scroll down, You will see where you can give a gift online with a credit or debit card. And so right here, you'll put the donation amount. You can choose how often you want this gift to be, whether that's just the one time, or you can have it automatically charged annually, semi-annually, quarterly, monthly, weekly, etc. You can also mark if you want it to be in memory or in honor of someone. And then we have a drop-down menu of giving options. So you can give to any of the things that we talked about before. Unrestricted is where you let the ARC choose how it's used. And if you don't see what you want to give to in this drop-down list, you can choose Other. And then right here, you can click or you can choose what you're giving to. So with the Golden Diggers, you just type that in, and then that's how we know what you want to give to. If it's the wish list, you can choose wish list, and then you can type in what you want your gift to go to that's on the wish list. So one of the things that's usually on there is gift cards for employee incentives. So you can do gift cards for employee incentives. And then right here, you'll put your name. If you want to include your rank, you can, and your address and your email. And you'll always get an email confirmation from this almost immediately after you press submit. And then it also populates in our donor database what you're giving to. And then if you have any other comments you want to put, you can put them here. Once you click submit, a new window will pop up. You will click submit again once you put your card information in, and it will say thank you so much for giving, and a confirmation email will be sent to you. And then also Anna and I will get an email pretty immediately with the gift you gave, and we will be super excited. Next, we have a couple videos to show you. The first one is a video from one of our generous donors, Mrs. Linda Sorber, about why she chose to give and why she chose to name the 2 locations that she did. The second video is one that we showed last year, but it's of Mrs. Martha Thorpe sharing her story of why she chose to give and why she named Martha's Pond what it is.
My husband was Chuck, and his best Army buddy was Todd. They met in the bar at the Fort Sam Officers Club drinking martinis. They became fast friends. They always talked about, when they retired, perhaps opening some kind of a bar or a pub or something like that. And it was pipe dream mostly, but there was that talk. And so I thought Chuck and Todd's place would be a good name. Todd, also in the Army, is the deceased husband of a current resident of the Ark. She has since remarried, but Carol Hubner's first husband was Todd Reinick, and so he is the Todd of the name.
It sounds like Chuck and Todd sounds like a really fun place where I'd want to go.
Well, I hope so. It has a very nice bar that's conducive for a buffet service, and some tables and chairs. Even people with walkers can get upstairs with the elevator. So I think that it just needs to be advertised more as a good space to hold small gatherings. I just hope that more events can be held there. It's not a huge space, so you can't have a big party there, but I hope that people will think about more birthday parties.
So you're kind of bringing their vision to life for them.
Yeah, I guess.
That's great.
Yeah, since they're both deceased now, maybe they're up there having a martini.
This is really a story about 2 Army officers who were exceptionally close friends. And they wouldn't have ever imagined, but would have been so pleased to know that their widows would have a place like the Ark to live, serve, and thrive.
You told me the story about every time you called your husband, they would tell you were in a meeting. Can you retell me that story?
Frequently, when I would go into my husband's office to see him on a project or whatever, and it was not always a scheduled thing, I would be told, "Oh, he's gone to a meeting. Oh, he's gone to a meeting." And it became a litany after a while. And they used to joke about it. "Oh, he's gone to another meeting." And in fact, they joked that his tombstone ought to have on it, "Oh, he's gone to another meeting." So I thought a meeting room, a conference room, would be an appropriate place to have his name on it. Well, his name was Charles Arthur Sorber, the Sorber Conference Room. I hope it means more availability to everyone at the Ark to be able to participate in meetings and such. And I thought, with all the fancy technical doodahs that they can do, and I don't understand any of it, that it would make things more available to people who could watch at home on their TVs.
So tell me about what you would want people to know about the why behind giving to doing the naming rights and what motivated you to want to give.
I don't think of it in terms of leaving a legacy behind. I simply think of this is something that I am able to do that will improve the property, and if other people appreciate it, the more the better. But I'm doing it because I think it needs to be done. My father was a mailman before he went into the Army after Pearl Harbor. And he went back to the post office after he served his 20 years. My husband was the oldest of 5 children, and both his parents were public school teachers. We all, to a great extent during our lives, had our hand out, asking someone else to help us. And it was impressed upon me by my father, and I think by Chuck's parents as well, that if we became able, that we ought to reach back and lend a hand up to somebody else. We were, both of us, always believed in leaving a property or a community or wherever we were better off than when we came. Make it better. Make it prettier, make the facilities better, do something to improve the life of the place. And I'm fortunate enough to be able to do that in a small measure.
I selected the pond. I live on that pond, and it probably kept me sane after my husband passed. We moved here in December of 2013, and he passed 3 months after we moved in. So I think it kind of saved my sanity to have that beautiful view every time I walked out the back door. And I want everyone to enjoy that view as much as I've enjoyed it. I named it Martha's Pond. I guess that's just a whim of selfishness, maybe, I don't know, but we had 3 Marthas that lived on the same side of the street, and there was one right next door in the house next door. So it's a common name here at the Ark among residents, and especially those people that live on the lakeside. My husband's name was Edwin Henry Thorpe, Jr., and he was in the Air Force. He retired a colonel and went into business in Universal City. The day after retirement, he'd gotten a CPA, and he went into a local CPA firm. He kidded everybody when they asked us when we were moving, and he said, "Well, we're on the large lake, and I'm going to sit on the porch and watch the water skiers." Yes, he had a wonderful sense of humor, and of course, it's always tragic to lose someone when you have been together so long. But we had a wonderful military career. We lived in Alaska, Germany, California 3 times, Alabama a couple of times. And we came here because we had a handicapped son, and we got a compassionate assignment so he would have the type of doctors he needed. And so that's why we came to San Antonio. And now I've been here 47 years. We came in 1976, the bicentennial, and we enjoyed our time here. My career was here. I was a school teacher at Judson High School. I taught marine science, biology, and laboratory management. Then I became a librarian at Olympia Elementary. We were very involved in the community here. My husband was a Rotarian, and he did a lot of volunteer projects to help handicapped people, and you name it, and he was the first one there. My husband died in 14. Our son died in 99. My daughter and my husband had the same kind of cancer, but in a different part of the body. She was in her 50s, and she died in 2019. So there's been a lot. I've needed a lot of help. I think it really saved my sanity, and I've lived on that pond now for almost 10 years, and I want everyone else to enjoy it as much as I've enjoyed it.